welcome everyone to today's general meeting. And we have very few agendas today, but yeah, you can still put your agenda down in the topics and we'll discuss it in the call. Yes, so we have a culture. We have to introduce the newcomers and say hello to everyone that just joined us this week. So if you're new on the call, you can just quickly indicate by saying hello. If this is your first time in the general meeting, I mean you must have attended other meetings, but if this is your first time in the general meeting, please unmute yourself and want to hear about you, where you're coming from, why you joined our community, what makes you want to join our community, and yeah, how your day is going.
Hello, I'm Dasit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, actually, I'm currently an engineering undergraduate, and I'm from Sri Lanka. I'm following computer science and engineering degree. Currently, I'm studying second year. So actually, I get to know about Layer5 community through Linux mentorship program. So I wanted to join Linux mentorship program. And when I'm surfing through the available projects, I get to know about Missouri project. So I applied to it, and I'm hoping to contribute in future. So that's about me actually.
Oh, good to have you here. You're welcome. Yeah. I hope you've gone through the project and have stumbled upon an issue. If you've not, just hang around. You'll see one soon.
Yeah, actually, I have to go through the projects, but I couldn't start because this day I have some exams, so a little bit busy. So whenever I get free, I am looking forward to go through the code base and the repo.
All right, all right. Good luck with your exams.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other person wants to go next?
Am I audible, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, it's Devansh from India. I'm pursuing my engineering. I'm in my sixth semester of engineering. I'm a Golang developer, and I was just filing around on the internet for like new opportunities, and I came to know about Layer5 community from Linux Foundation's official page, and that's why I joined this community. I'm looking for something to contribute in open source in Golang and like something in cloud native application, like in area of cloud native development.
Awesome.
That's it.
Welcome. Awesome. Another gopher. What do you know? Cool.
All right, you're welcome to the community. Any other person want to go next? If this is your first time in our general meeting, please do a proper introduction. It would be rude to not introduce yourself.
We will take offense. Nice. So, Devjit, have you said hi before? You might have.
Hello.
Hello.
So yeah, hi everyone. So I texted hi, but I didn't introduce myself. Sorry for that. So I am Devjit Chaudhary from India, I'm currently in my third year undergraduate. I'm studying maths and computer from IIT Kharagpur. And I also came to know about Layer5 through Linux Foundation program. So I am currently working with React. So excited to contribute to this project.
Oh, welcome to the community.
Thank you.
I hope to see more of you. Yeah, and anyone wants to go next? Piyush, have you introduced yourself?
Good old Piyush. Yeah, he is old news at this point. Like that guy, I'm kind of sick of him actually. It's just no, I'm just, totally kidding. As a matter of fact, actually, it's so Mr. Singaria Piyush is, well, Piyush, remind me, it's you're GSOCing right now, right? Yep, it's not LFX for you, it's GSOC. So you're yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's GSOC.
Piyush, guess what? I just remember yesterday. Well, so it's on, I think it's this coming Monday. It is first round of feedback, first round of critical assessment of your performance. So, so enjoy the weekend. No pressure, no stress. Well, so anyway, so Piyush is actively in GSOC internship and is about halfway through. As a matter of fact, Dhruv Patel is also GSOCing currently, actively. And there's another individual who is LFXing at the moment, Soham. And there's another individual who just got done LFXing that, if I can use these things as verbs. And actually, so maybe I'll talk about LFX for just a moment, if I could. Is anyone else new on the call and hasn't had a chance to introduce? Everybody else has gotten a chance to say hi before. Muskin is with us. Nitish, Samir, and Shreyas is this is Miss Shreyas Shetty. Is that the same Shreyas? Maybe, maybe not. Shreyas, are you there? And Mr. Das introduced recently, and so okay, all right, very good. So nice. It's nice to have 30 of you on the call. It's great that people like Jean will just jump in with only 2 minutes of notice to potentially demo something to us today. So she'll get double the bonus points if she shows something today. It's nice to have everybody here. There are about 3 of you, I think, that just introduced that all have a first name starting with D. So Devjit, this, oh geez. Dasit, oh man. And Devansh, it's gonna be, wow, it's gonna be some tongue twisters, but very nice to have all of you. There was kind of a theme to your introductions, and that was that you'd seen Meshri in the Linux Foundation's mentorship program called LFX. And so there was a recent question, actually, I think if memory serves, it was not from any of the 3 of you. It's from a gentleman who's not on right now. His first name starts with a U. I asked him, he asked me a question on LinkedIn about what's the difference between the 2 entries for Meshri on the Linux Foundation site. And so I had asked him to kindly ask that same question in our Discuss forum. And so I'm going to hit a few things if I can. So one, if you all are hopefully aware, and some of you might not be, that there's a relatively new discussion forum that's been created by the community here. And it's just getting up and going. So please go make use of it. Like, it's a place to ask questions about LFX, actually, place to ask questions or talk about things that you're doing with any of the projects that are going on. And so go lay waste to it, go get busy. Anita and some of the other community managers will be working toward, well, acknowledging some of those who are the noisiest, who are either asking the most questions, answering the most questions, who are, there'll be a leaderboard or two here. So we're paying attention, much like people get asked to drop their name into the attendees list. So do we track their names over here? So I think that's going to be a topic in general, sort of community health. What does it look like in the Layer 5 community? Where is the activity? Who's being a bull in the china shop? Like which individuals are really being active and passionate and championing certain areas? As we do look at that next week, it might make sense that we were to review, well, exactly that, the champions or the maintainers of individual components of the various projects that are here. I think, that's certainly as I go to digest and look at a particular project in the ecosystem, and I think about using it, well, I don't know that everyone else does, but I take a look at a number of, having been in open source for a long time, I take a look at a number of things about that project. I look at how popular it is, whether it's being actively sustained, what the licensing for it is, who's behind it, what the governance is, who all is involved. Is that healthy? Is that diverse? And those are just some of the assessments that I quickly take and size up about a project. And so people no doubt do that about Meshery as a project as well. Meshery isn't the only project that we have. For sure, the Service Mesh Performance Project that some of you may or may not be familiar with, both of these have just entered into the CNCF. This project, it looks super boring on the face of it. And it's okay that I say that about the project because that's the truth. It does look boring. It isn't. It's actually, there are actually some really bright people who are involved here. And we stand to to be, you know what, mark my words. Let's go ahead and mark my words. What's today? Friday, July 9th. Lee says.
Yeah, 9th.
Nice, okay. Yeah, let's mark this. So Lee says something stupid like SMP will overtake SMI. SMI will die and there, all right. Let's put a little quote. Okay, now, that seems somewhat significant. Anybody who wants a further description of why I think that that'll happen, let's talk. And then if I answer your question, you must participate in SMP. And there's a lot of things to do. So don't ask it unless you're looking to participate, but I will tell you in great detail why. All right, so I completely digressed. Going back here, someone had asked me on LinkedIn, hey, why are there a couple of different Meshery projects on the LFX? Well, that's because Meshery just entered into the CNCF and is in the process of doing so. And hopefully we'll hear from the Vendu today about the status of those projects and how they get adopted into the CNCF. So Meshery was an early, a standalone participant in the LFX program in general. And look at, good God, that's awesome. Look at that. This is a testament to all of you, really, the fact that people are actively and the fine young gentleman that just said that they're here in part because of that interest in LFX. Great. There's a reason why it's working and works so well. There's a reason why why can't I find it? Meshery is the #1 sought after internship. That's really cool.
It's mentorship.lfx. That's the URL, I guess.
That's really cool, and is a direct reflection on the people who are on the call. I can't tell you, just yesterday, I'll go grab some quotes. I can't tell you how many times people say, wow, it's so nice to be here. People, I got help. I started to understand what was going on. People took some time to teach me or show me or unblock me or identify an area that I could own or take, advance or move forward. There's it's all across the board. Like right now, as soon as I'm done babbling on Meshery and LFX, I'm going to make a call and ask if anyone is an extrovert, if anyone's socially inclined, Meshri has a Twitter handle that goes underused. We should be twittering things. We should be saying some stuff. We should be talking about what you're all doing. We should be teaching people about the latest Meshri CTL command. There's like a bunch of stuff to tweet. We should be tweeting the fact that randomly we took a look at the LFX site, and the last four people to sign up for a mentorship, 3 of them were from Meshri. Like, there's something there. Let's talk about that. What's going on? And the thing is like all of you have a story to tell in that regard. Even the 3 of you who just introduced, there's a story. Like, you're being like talked about right now as you're like, and does that feel good or doesn't that feel good? And a lot of you have written up your stories here. Come write your story. We got, these 3 interns going on right now that I'm talking about. The 3 of them have written the start of their story for what they're actively doing. And I tell you what, like, it's time to evaluate how far along each of you are, Dhruv, Piyush, and Soham. And that's literally what's going to be happening this next week. So I encourage you each to do a review as well. Eventually, the 3 of them will have written up what they accomplished before the end of the summer. And so the answer here is that there are 2 projects. One is associated with under the CNCF's category, and there's no category. They just put CNCF in the label. And then there's another Meshri that is just standalone unto its own in the LFX. And so I hesitate to even click around because I'm not going to get to the right place. So Soham is currently here. That hopefully answers part of why so Meshri is actively being adopted into the CNCF, and so it's represented twice. That doesn't inflate the count, the popularity of the project. That's not why that many people have signed up. It's not being double counted. But Navendu Podakat just got done ending his LFX internship.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Navendu, how was it?
It was a really bad experience. Actually, it was really good. I learned a lot, and not just the internship, but the things that I'm doing after that, and things I was doing before that. So it really helped me reposition myself. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's so good that actually that's the next thing for us to talk about. And that is that, yeah, go ahead, Anita.
And okay, Navendu, you have something about the Meshri bug hunt?
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry, I got us all confused. Let me just say this really quick, that as Navendu ends his LFX internship, so congrats, Navendu, but also Layer5 has extended Navendu an offer to join as an employee of Layer5. And so I just wanted to say both congrats on successfully ending an internship, and also, welcome to the thick of it ongoing. Navendu, it's great to have you. Your first official day is on Monday, so kudos.
Double celebrations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Navendu.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Cool. Okay. Back to you, Anita. I'm sorry. I just wanted to answer a bunch of stuff all at once.
All right, no problem. Navendu, you have something about the Meshri CTL bug hunt?
Yeah, sure. I'll just quickly share my screen.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Okay. So we have a Meshri CTL bug hunting section tomorrow, Saturday, and the timing is given here. So basically what we do in this call is to walk through Meshri CTL commands and test things out end to end, and identify bugs, and take action or plan how we can take action to fix those bugs. So we have a Meshery test plan, which is linked in the meeting minutes. And so basically what I'm showing here is uh, a step-by-step a step-by-step way to test out measure commands, and it's not yet complete, and I will complete it today. And this basically goes through all the measure commands, and we can figure out how what the actual outcome is versus the expected outcome. And we also have a measure command tracker which tracks the readiness for each of the measure commands. So we have a release coming up, which is the v0.6 release. So we still have some red cells here, and we need to fix those. So if you are interested to test out Meshery, then you can join the call tomorrow, and everyone should have gotten an invite, and it's on the community calendar. So each of you should have gotten an invite to join. And yeah, so hopefully I will see a lot of faces tomorrow. Back to you, Anita.
Okay, thank you for that. Don't fail to subscribe to the calendar if you have not, so you can get notified for this meeting tomorrow. All right. Yes, we want to share good news from the newcomers call as well. Yesterday we broke a record for like quite some time. We've not had such turn up in the newcomers call. We had 16 persons in total, although just 14 wrote their name in attendance though, but it was great. It was an interactive section, and we started swapping facilitators yesterday, and Sayantan was the person that handled yesterday's meeting. It was really, really awesome. I think we'll keep up with the facilitator shifts. It's really awesome to see more faces handle the meeting sometimes too. So yeah, that's the news from the newcomers call. Yeah, if you're new too, you can still join. If you're not new, you're welcome to still join us, because we like discussions from everyone. Okay, so on to the next topic. Lee has to tell us about the GitHub apps.
Yeah, hey, this is just really briefly. As a matter of fact, I'm not. I'll share the meeting minutes here briefly. Everybody think about what Anita just said about the newcomers call. One, there's more and more folks coming in, which is awesome, and yeah, rotating. So this week, Anita is whenever she can get me to shut up, she is hosting today's call, and that's fantastic. I'm sick of talking. You guys are sick of listening to me, which means that the same thing is happening in the newcomers call. Anita and Ruth and a few others have been have created that call, created its agenda, kept it going for quite some long time. It's good to get rotate in others. So think about this. I think, we should change this question, remove this question mark before the end of today's call. If somebody wants to host newcomers call, please, speak with Anita. In terms of GitHub apps, there's a bunch of things that across the projects that are here that we want to do around GitOps. And there's so much that we want to do that I dare not start to describe the first one, because I will then talk for the next 30 minutes about the variety of things. Suffice to say, some of those, a number of those things would be best facilitated through an actual GitHub app itself. And the app is like an app itself is, in terms of GitHub, is much more about permissions and being able to access users' repos and interface with their code. And so if this is an area of interest for anyone, then please ping Rudraksh Parikh, otherwise known as the optimistically delusional individual. Good. So there's a lot behind there. I didn't describe some of the functionality we're looking to do, but just a quick call out.
All right. Don't fail to hit up Rudrash for more information on that. And the next topic, we have Jane, who is going to officially give us a demo. Oh, thank you for actually turning up.
Hello. Hi. I'm really sorry. I don't think I can give a demo right now because I'm not on my laptop. But yeah, I just want to say to everyone that yeah, I did some changes on the notification drawer and if in the measure UI, and yeah, if you noticed anything or you have any feedback, yeah, feel free to tell us so that we can improve it if there is anything that you think can be improved. Yeah, really sorry that I can't demo it right now.
That's my fault. Yeah, Gene, no, thanks for jumping on. That's my fault for asking you just like a couple of minutes in advance. So it would be, I think it'd be really nice for people to see what you've done. I know actually is Rudraksh, if you're on the phone, I thought you had a couple of comments about the notification center and the toaster notifications.
Yep, so it was pretty nice to see the errors, and unfortunately I haven't got it messily deployed right now, so I can't give a demo.
Does anybody else have Meshery up and running? Dhruv, Abhishek, Piyush, Navendu, Soham does. Yeah, Soham.
Yeah, I have it running.
Cool. And so, yeah, if you want to share, Soham?
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, just a second, I'm just sharing it. Yeah, so this I couldn't hear what
Yeah. So Gene, I know this is ad hoc and kind of awkward, but Gene, do you want to verbally drive Soham's mouse?
Okay, sure. Can you try to get a notification
over here?
Yep. So maybe just like go try to provision a service mesh, even though you know
I think that's not the updated one. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I guess I'm not on the latest one. When were the changes merged? I am a week behind, I guess.
Good. So yeah.
If someone else, oh, then I don't have them. If someone else has them, they can share.
Abhishek, can you share?
Yeah, I'm just crashing my this. Let me just check.
Okay.
I just took pull and it's just trying to run. If it's up, I will be showing in few seconds.
Cool. Thank you all for being impromptu about it.
Okay. Yeah, so on to the next one. Lee mentioned earlier that we're trying to like accumulate statistics on the community growth. So, and this is part of it because the more stars you give to our repositories, the more popularity we get, because it shows that people actually like our project and they think it's useful enough to be out there. So don't forget to start our repositories, each one of them, if possible, every single one of them. So every star counts. That's a good way to also contribute to open source. If you didn't know, every star counts. So you can also contribute to the community by starring our project and sharing it on your social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter. Share it with your friends and tell them what we're doing here, because we're doing a great job down here.
Remember, sharing is caring.
Okay, and also, we mentioned earlier that we're looking for a Twitter, someone who can handle our Meshri and SMP Twitter handle. So if you're freaked out about Twitter and the tweets going on there, you can still put in a hand in here, because we need so many hands. It's not just a one person's job. Everyone is welcome to contribute to this particular field. It's open source after all. So just come and share the news to the public for us. So you can volunteer by just writing your name down here, and we'll attend to you in Slack. Or you can still reach out to me in Slack, and that's fine. I'm always ready to answer. So if you want to volunteer for this particular role, just reach out to me or Lee or any of the meshmates, and we'll address this. So next up, I really can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, so
I don't I don't want to be rude.
It's Suhani.
All right, yeah, you're up.
Okay, so what you have expected from me, I won't be giving much, but let me share my experience, mainly for newcomers like me. So,
You want to share your screen?
no, I will just say it.
All right, then that's fine.
Okay, so I started with this lab. I'm in one of the labs, and it's mainly for newcomers. So it started with installing Minikube on the lab, and followed by Meshri. So yeah, just with yeah, this is the one. So when you go to this lab, it will install the Minikube, and with the help of curl command, you will be able to install the Meshri and can access Meshri on your UI with port 9081, I guess. And there you can manage your Meshri. I mean, you can add any mesh service you want. I tried to add Istio, I mean, as per this doc. So yeah, I mean, I got stuck at a you can see in the dashboard like the service mesh you have chosen, but it was not able to show me. So yeah, I was stuck there. So I'm sure we will find out the cause, but yeah, that's it from my side.
perfect. Yep. So Hani, thanks for that. There's a number of labs over here that occasionally people come to use. It's a great way for people to try to use Meshri in like maybe today this is the quickest way for someone to touch the project that you guys are creating. You guys and gals. I say guys. You guys is a euphemism in the Midwest where I've grown up. So. But for you all, these labs are really nice. It's a quick way for people to try out what you've done. The labs are kind of broken. There's some bugs across them. There's like 8 or so labs today. And Suhani had noticed this and is familiarizing and working toward fixing a couple of the bugs, maybe changing the labs fairly significantly to the extent that today you've got to, as a user of the labs, you've got to come in here and basically sort of initialize Minikube or initialize a Kubernetes environment. And hopefully tomorrow, when Suhani is done, maybe people wouldn't have to, that Kubernetes would already be available to them. And You see, like right now, if you try to run kubectl get nodes, it's like Kubernetes isn't ready. But if you wait for some time, not that that's visually indicated to the user in any way that they need to wait. If you wait for some time, you'll be able to run this command again. And oh, yep, starting to come up, but it's not quite ready yet though. But oh, okay, and like, so this needs improvement. And the thing is the way that these labs are written, they're open source. They're in this repository right here, Service Mesh Labs. Let's see, there are 2 folders. Okay, some that are adapter focused and some that are on performance testing. Okay, so if we go look at the website, here's the labs. There's 2 tabs, one that's about each specific type of service mesh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 labs, or there are 2 that are about performance and how to do performance management in Meshry. Okay, so wait a second. If we go back over here, there's this performance folder and it has 2 labs. Oh, okay. So those are the 2 labs that we're seeing back on the site. We go in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. So these are the 5 labs that we're seeing on the website itself. Got you. Okay, so then, boy, this must be like really complex code that's being written to facilitate those labs. No, it's not. It's not super complex. It's not the easiest thing. This is a great way for all of you to both familiarize with Meshry and run Meshry, but also create tooling or create labs that everyone else can learn from as well. So Suhani is busy making waves, figuring out some changes that we should do. There are a couple of bugs that need to be filed. We need to file a few things. Like I'll go file one that says, give people Kubernetes from the start. Start with a ready Kubernetes. There. So if anyone wants to, so I think Suhani is looking into that particular thing and a few others. Go chat with her about what she's been working on and the challenges that she's been facing as she tries to go through the labs. And if you're not sure if you want to do that, go try a lab and see if you can be successful and see if you bump into an issue. If for nothing else, then just file a bug for what you've seen. But we're investing collectively more and more in these to help people get going with service meshes and with Meshry. I don't know how many of you, well, I know that there's a lot of you who aren't on the typical Monday weekly call, which focuses on websites. It focuses on front-end things between Meshry UI and the 6 or so different sites that you all have created. One of the things about this site here, it's sort of an unpublished next generation learning interface that you all, or a subset of you, are in the process of creating these learning paths, which is these learning paths will take people through like a lot of material about service meshes and how they work and what they do. And part of that material, part of the, boy, I hope I'm not stealing the thunder of the contributors that are working on this. But part of the material, like as you walk through and learn about Linkerd, well, it'll use an interactive lab. There'll be a bunch of other text and slides and other like explanatory things. But part of walking through the course material, walking through the learning path will be those interactive labs. So the interactive labs are important as standalone tools for people to learn, also important as they will be embedded in these learning paths. We'll eventually have a certification program where people can walk around proudly with some two-toned green thing on their chest, I suppose. What that is, I don't know. Maybe one of you has an idea as to what a certificate looks like. So good. Hopefully that explains, like, hey, if you're interested in this, go try out the labs and then poke Suhani. Cool. On that, we're over to Navendu.
Yeah, I'll share my screen again. So as Lee mentioned earlier in the meeting, both Meshery and Service Mesh Performance are now CNCF sandbox projects. So there are some things that we need to consider and we need to change or add to onboard these projects to CNCF. So there are a couple of issues in the CNCF TOC that has been opened up to track our progress towards onboarding these projects. So one of these was that we have updated the CNCF, updated Meshery and SMP in the CNCF landscape. So if you go to landscape.cncfi.io, you will see that Meshery is a sandbox project, and you will also see SMP, which wasn't part of the landscape before. Now it is, and it's also a CNCF sandbox project. So some of you have been contributing to help us onboard into CNCF, and some other items, like we also have a license validation tool like FOSA. This has been added recently, and as you can see, there are a couple of issues that we need to figure out. And on the websites, it now says that we are a CNCF project. It also does in the SMP website. So we are almost done.
Bendu, I'm sorry to interrupt. Really quick, if you go back to the SMP page, the footer, I'm curious, if you go down to that latest tweet, who is that guy? Boy, that looks like somebody who might be on this call. Who is that? Hold on.
Yeah, it is me.
That guy. Oh, okay. All right. Man, look at that. That's ridiculous. There ought to be, we're going to have to rate limit this guy's commits. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. I guess it's game on then. Is that the, okay. Okay. Cool. Good. I just had to embarrass on shoot.
Yeah. So to sum it up, we have most of the stuff done, but yeah, that's it. Back to you, Anita.
Aditya, you have something to say?
Yeah, it's regarding that the same onboarding step for Meshery about the open governance step. Actually, I have been going through the steps for past 1 week and saw about the open governance that it's like a document that explains the guidelines and the rules of a project, and even referred with the Envoy project and the Kubernetes project. So my question is the open governance being implemented in Meshery in some other file name? That's the first question.
No, it's not. It's not published. And no, it's not required to adopt this particular set. This is something that, well, Chris and some others had been working on. Nope, we've intentionally not published governance docs, a bunch of process around how it works, for the same reason that we don't have a visual topology, for the same reason that we don't have any real GitOps features in Meshery.
Open source contributions.
It's like, well, what do you mean? What does governance have to do with the feature in Meshery? Well, it has to do with the number of, the type of committed individuals that are here working on things, wrapping, trying to achieve some of the things in the roadmap that we want to. It would be a fool's errand to describe those to most of us today, because most of us would say, I have no idea what you're talking about, because we're not there yet. And so the same thing about the governance is like, okay, how many times? So what constitutes activity, being an active maintainer? What constitutes being a maintainer? Okay, what are the roles and responsibilities? What rights and et cetera do permissions do people get? How does voting work? What does it mean to be active? Do you like show up to a meeting? What if you can't make the meetings? Okay, well, what if so Aditya, thanks for creating the issue. We're intentionally, these are things that I've spent a lot of time on, and will socialize and kind of educate all of us as we go. Look for input and seek counsel and from each of you and your perspectives about what that governance should be. It's phrased poorly in the checklist, the CNCF task onboarding checklist, that it makes it sound like it's like, have you adopted this yet? And it's like, no, that's not literally, there's no requirement to adopt that specific set. The vast majority of the projects have not adopted this. Kubernetes was created well in advance of open governance, like quote unquote open governance as a project ever being defined. So if Kubernetes implements it, it's because this reflects Kubernetes, not the other way around. Anyway, it's a great topic. It's an extraordinarily long topic, fairly complex, and has been on the docket for a long time, but intentionally not on the let's focus on it docket. With this step into a sandbox project, between now and when we go for incubation, like the next level, which will be a little while, people like Samir being here is extremely helpful to making it to that next level. When Samir stands up and says, I'm a user, we use this thing, that's really the only criteria that we're missing, that the project is missing for entrance into incubation. So no guilt trip or pressure there, Samir, but making you successful is in the interest of all of us that are here, and sort of including Samir himself, because Samir is both a contributor and a user. And yeah, anyway, suffice to say, it's a great topic, Aditya, not one that we're going to actively figure out on this call or in the next month, but one that we do need to begin to outline. Something, yeah.
So we are focusing this step afterwards, so later on.
I mean, don't let me stop you from actively studying or.
No, my exams got over today, so I'm a bit free.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's not a critical, it's not a here and now. How do I, feel free to read through more of the suggested governance there and form opinions and things like that. It's not a blocker for us. Like there's already a proverbial check mark in that question. Again, like it's a poorly phrased question. It's one in which the CNC, I don't know how to concisely explain this to you all, but I'll explain it like this. I think Nikhil Lada is the first was one of the first people to be named a maintainer on Meshery. And that was when he, like that, and don't, if Nikhil were here, I'd much rather that he were here so I could say this in front of him. But when Nikhil and I first met, doing a git commit was kind of a challenge for him. That's like 100 miles away from where he is today. And so then, like, how can someone who's really struggling to even do git push be a maintainer of a project like this? Because he showed up, because he was here, and he kept trying, and he was, his mentality and his vision was aligned with the culture and what we're trying to do. And now, like today, like, yeah, he has rights and privileges over the project, and I guess that example that I was using, the point of what I was saying is that it's the same thing for the CNCF. When the CNCF got started, and I was there when it was, let's form a thing, some center of it, and start from there. And we'll start itemizing all these. There was no onboarding checklist. There was no sandbox. There wasn't such a thing called sandbox. There wasn't such a thing called incubation before. So what I'm saying is they're phrasing some of these tasks in such a way that they're trying to direct projects to do certain things, but these are not. Not all of these are requirements as they're written. So that's a background. Yeah, Aditya, thanks for filing the issue. If people want to talk about governance, please let's do. But do your reading first, and then make some suggestions, and let's. But otherwise, I don't know if there's any other outstanding tasks, Aditya, that you might be able to assist with. Navendu was unchained as he went through and attacked these. There's one that you could look into. It's the very last one, to create meeting space for events in the community on CNCF.io. This is a good question for us. Do we, us collect each individual project, is it desired such that there's community happening in this way? So I don't know if any of you do like developer advocacy much. It's not obvious, but it is to me that this is Bevy, the system that's being used for this particular community, this site. Bevy is something of a meetup.com contributor or competitor. And anyway, it looks like as a project, every project gets to be able to create their own like account here. That's like extremely new. That's new as of, it's about 6 months ago that the CNCF was trying to move away from meetup.com to, oh yeah, there it is, meetup.com to this platform. And so, yeah, so anyway, long story short, if Aditya or anyone else on the call, if you're interested in like familiarizing with the possibility of having Meshri and having SMP have their own sub-communities, let's go explore it. We probably should, or not probably, like we should be having, there's a number of tutorials and trainings that Anita is tracking that we should be giving about, like, how does performance management work in Meshri? How does MeshSync work? How does, or Samir can be presenting on like how he's using Meshri. Like that's another forum for that type of a thing. Okay, cool, yeah, thank you, Aditya. No, it's like, yeah, the CNCF provides some tooling, but it's up to the projects as to whether or not they want to take advantage of that type of tooling.
Okay, then.
So for those of you who are socially inclined, there's a lot of opportunity to help represent the project. Nice, all right. I know we wanted to take a look at Jean's work desperately.
I share my screen, like, and maybe Jimmy can guide me.
17 hour.
Hello. Yeah, thanks, Lou. So my changes was I changed the buttons and then I added the tabs for filtering the error warning and success notification. So before, what we have is just a filter for the error notifications and all notifications, and they were kind of in the obscure buttons. So now they are clearly stated in those tabs. And yeah, and then we changed the button for clearing the notification from an X to a check, so that it is consistent with clearing all the notifications button. And when it clears all the notification, it will automatically close the notification drawer. So yeah, and then the other change was just changing the color of the toaster notification.
So
Mm,
you mean
you
this
can
particular
try
notification?
that one. So before it was black, and now it's colored besides. It's colored according to if it's an error or an info or ASA. So yeah, that's pretty much all the changes that I've made. Yeah, thank you so much, Drew.
Yeah, looks great, man.
And it helped me find a bug pretty quick. So hats off.
There's one bug which I found. I think when we click on show all notifications, it shows me the notification, but it doesn't bring me back to all.
Oh yeah, yeah. I should have did that. Nice catch. I'll
Yeah,
change that.
but it looks good, man. It does look better than what it was before. That's for sure.
Nice. Sounds like Gene was just seeing, keeping you on your toes, Drew. That's good. One other small item, Drew, if you go back, Gene, if it would be nice if we're able to word wrap a little bit, or pin that caret and the check mark, like the upper left hand corner or upper right hand corner, such that.
Oh, okay. And then I'll just wrap the notification.
Right. Yeah. Sort of multi-lined descriptor.
All right.
Drew, I guess I haven't gotten a chance to play with this. I'm really curious. Drew, if you click on anywhere else on the dark, the dark gray, if you go back to the notification, click on the dark gray card. Okay, it expands and okay, great. Cool. Okay. Nice. And, boy, it's kind of hard to provide any critical feedback here. Dean sort of knocked it out of the park. This is frustrating for me. So much nicer to be able to be critical. All right. All right, let's move on. Fine, fine. Good work. Fine.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Anybody have, Anita, we're a couple minutes after. We have, what else do we have? And Anita might be not able to hear us, so I'll just take a quick look. Abhishek, okay. And Lee, okay. So we're at the top of the hour.
I forgot I was muted.
Oh, great. Hey, we're at.
Yeah. So Abhishek.
Nice, cool. I'm sorry. The delay always makes things hard. Abhishek, thank you for putting that up there. We'll get to your topic and my topic, I think, next time because we're out of time. Anybody have anything else urgent to chat through?
Okay.
No one
Well,
does.
if you can't drop your topic here, you can always do that. We're going to create a poll and discuss for the discussions for every week, a general meeting. So just look out for that. I'll be dropping it in the Slack channel, so you can always drop your topics and we'll include it in the chat. Okay. Okay. Does anyone have? All right. If there's nothing else for now, we can just end the call. Thank you, everyone, for making it to the meeting today. We had a lot of discussions, obviously, and I hope to see you all next week and see more of you in the community. All right, have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, Anita.
Bye, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, people.
Yes.